put it up on top of
All
my
right,
head,
so we have 3 scenes this evening, and we'll be able to spend about 30, 45 minutes on each, which will be very nice. 2 of them are first showings, which I'm very much looking forward to. So,
Was it one day? Okay.
Carmen had 2 days though.
Lucky her.
hey Amber, when you're done, would you flip the lights off?
And if you can think about it while we're in here, let me know how many you really saw of that complexion. Because I always have that problem. I never get into it. Excuse me, Keith, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We can ask complexion questions all you like.
So excited.
Ninja. The bedspreads were there.
All right, so, let me grab my notebook.
Did you ask me if I'm off?
No, I said, did you want me to be on the I didn't know if you were putting that there.
I don't think I wore my glasses here. This is gonna suck. Am I gonna know my notes?
My patients used to sit there.
Yeah, that's what all the time. Touch is my temple. You're supposed to want me to.
All right, is there anything in particular you're working? All right, everybody, focus.
Yes.
Anything in particular you're working on you want us to watch for?
Any ideas?
Well, always. Should we put like pillows so it looks like somebody's in the bed?
We need people in the beds.
I'm gonna say, who wants to volunteer?
We have
Chicken
two.
Anybody want to be a dead person
Yeah.
or a dying person
Two
tonight?
people. Come on over. Come on over, Mom. We have Ninjago and Batman. Choose your
You
character.
get to meet Batman.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Feels a little post-apocalyptic.
It's realistic, you know.
Hey, it's a military hospital.
A funny thing happened at the Vault 35
We couldn't completely get that
outpost.
I was gonna say, that title's a mouthful.
Oh wait, I'm gonna fall.
No, you're not gonna
All right, so what are you working on?
Well, I'm always working on trying to make it seem natural. I'm very much so working on not forgetting my lines, because there is a very long monologue part at the end of our scene.
Okay.
And me, like, since she talks most of the time, like, cause she's gonna say her lines for like the first like minute and a half. So I'm just trying to work on like, cause during the beats he has a lot of facial expressions because he can't believe what he's hearing. So that's one thing I'm trying to work on. Just like as she's talking, just trying to like react to that. So.
And you can't be in here, you have to walk in.
I know.
With your music.
Are y'all doing that beginning scene where like you hear her for the first time?
They first meet, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it starts on page 8. Is it 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Should I shut the door or?
Well, that's up to you. It's the hospital room, so it may be open.
Yeah, most of the time they're open. I'll just keep it open.
I think so. They want to make sure that nothing untoward is going on inside the room with patients. Are you ready? Stand by. Action.
You know, I've been single for so long. Like, I've started having sexual fantasies about my vibrator. I don't know, what do you think that works? Is sexual fantasies?
Cut.
Yeah, I fucked it all up already.
Start over. There is no you know.
You know.
It changes what this is about.
Okay. Where did I say you know?
Yeah, 'cause I'm
At the beginning.
Do
I did.
So the music is I've been single for so
I've been
long.
single for, because she's doing her stand-up.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, here we go from the top. Stand by. Action.
I've been single for so long, I've started having sexual fantasies about my vibrator. Now, what do you think works best? Sexual fantasies or sex dreams? Or wet dreams? Right, I think the wet dreams is the funnier option, but you know, I'm worried it's not going to get a lot because like girls don't have wet dreams, per se. No, fuck it, wet dreams, you're in. You know, like I have a lot more stuff that I can throw into it. You know, like I could elaborate. You know, like I could, you know, like improv and say something like, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled up man throwing my bedroom door open and raping me, I just have visions of my vibrator standing in the archway, backlit by moonlight, wearing a fedora sometimes, and fucking me until sunrise. What do you think of that? I mean, it's just improv, so. I don't know, was the rape too much? I could say something like, I'm in bed, dripping wet, just waiting for my vibrator to fuck me. I don't know though, but does that take the teeth out of it? Am I being a pussy? I mean, like, I can never tell if I'm just being like this big, white, gaping pussy. I could still like throw the rape element, into it, but like in a different way. I love getting fucked by my vibrator because it'll never rape me. Something like that. I love getting raped by my vibrator because.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Could you keep it down over there?
I didn't know anyone else was in here. I'll be quieter. Sorry. I love getting fucked by my vibrator because you don't have to go to the police afterwards. You can just. Oh, it's still too vague. I love getting fucked by my vibrator.
I'm sorry?
because-
I'm sorry. What are you?
Look, I'm being quiet.
That's not the point.
Well, would you care to illuminate what you believe the point to
The
be?
point is that you're not the only person in this
I
room.
told you that. I didn't know anyone else was in
You
here.
didn't realize someone else was in
No,
here?
I told you that. I thought it was just me and my mom.
You didn't realize there was a 65-year-old woman fighting with every fiber of her being to combat a rapacious case of ovarian cancer in here? You didn't realize
Why are you
that?
talking to me like I'm this, like...
Why am I talking to you like some kind
But
of...
why are you talking to me like I'm a fucking idiot?
Why are you acting like some kind of idiot?
Look, you told me to be quiet. And that's what I'm fucking
Hey,
doing.
language.
But-
Language.
What? Language? What are you, my fucking preschool teacher?
We're in a hospital.
Yeah, I noticed.
There are ladies present.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fucking lady.
Oh, ha.
Yeah,
Ha!
you don't know. You don't know because you don't even know what I look like because you're not even man enough to pull aside this curtain. Come over here and belittle
Oh,
me to
that's it.
myself.
That's it.
That's what? What are you gonna
I'm
do?
getting a nurse.
What?
I'm
You're getting
Go-
a nurse?
to get
Are you serious?
hospital.
Oh my God,
I'm going to get
telling
administrator.
I'm telling on you. What?
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
No, you know what? I don't think you're sorry. I think you, my friend, are the opposite of
It's an
sorry.
expression.
No,
Jesus.
You know what? It's an expression that pansies use. Because when you say, I'm sorry. No, what you're really trying to say is that you think I should be sorry. You know what? You say, I'm sorry. No, it's a passive-aggressive attempt to control
Oh,
me.
I know
Tell
exactly
me
where
what
this is
I should
going.
say. No, because you don't even know me. I mean, really, I'm just a fucking plastic curtain to you. I mean, and you can tell by the sound of my voice that I am a young
Yup.
woman.
Here we go.
No, you know what? And you're terribly insecure.
You always like this?
You,
Do you have friends?
It signifies that you have a position of power over me. You know what? And your imagined line.
Fact that translate in your emasculated fantasy brain to.
Say that one more time.
Yep. An imagined fact that translates in your emasculated fantasy.
An
brain.
imagined fact that translates into your emasculated fantasy brain to have carte blanche permission to fucking talk to me any way
Dear
you feel like, I
God,
guess.
what
because
happened to you
no,
in your miserable
because
childhood to
you're
make you
terribly
become this
into
person?
subconscious, no, that is the only way that you can feel powerful when you are in the most castrating powerlessness of your life, where your mother is over there dying of cancer and you are completely powerless over that.
You're a little bitch. You know that?
All right, good. I would put their heads at the other end.
So we can see them?
And so that if you look at them, we get your face.
Yeah. So otherwise you see them.
All right, so notes. How did you think that went? Apart from a couple of line flubs, which is, which is not a problem with the first pass.
The banter was really fun.
Yeah, it was a nice rhythm to the exchange, the back and forth.
Yeah. At first it was hard because of those dashes where it's like somebody had to talk over
Oh,
them.
it's like learning
But
choreography.
it worked. You could somehow hear both and follow what was going on.
I was reading like, whoa, this is a lot.
Yeah, that part took the longest to learn. It's just like when you see those dashes, like when to talk and like when they say one word and then we talk.
Yeah.
But then we figured out just like no matter what, just keep talking.
Well, there you go.
Just make it sound like a rant.
It certainly worked perfectly. How did it time out with the script? Pretty well?
Yeah.
Very nice, guys. Notes, go.
I couldn't really see it much while I was reading, but I do agree with that.
Well, next time you don't have to. Next
Yeah,
time you can just give notes. If they go up online, they'll have to just fight through.
Well, I have a comment. I couldn't see any of it, but I really liked your. I think it's one of the first few lines. Your visible. What? I'm sorry. Like there was it felt real. I was like, ooh, what did my daughter say now?
What else? Are you buying the stand-up thing?
Yes and no.
No.
What?
At certain points.
Not yet.
Explain what you mean. All of you.
I think part of it is the lines, the memorization of the lines. It's not coming natural that you actually speak like that.
Yeah.
And then it is the.
I was gonna
The
say, I feel the
vulgarness of it.
opposite. So sometimes there's like interjecting the slurs and stuff, and like when you actually wrote down, you're like, wet dreams? You're like, yeah, wet dreams. Like, that was way more.
That part worked, but
Yeah.
when delivering the comedic lines as practice of a routine,
to her mom.
did you get that? There is a stand-up voice
Yeah.
that she's using.
Or like, well, no.
I didn't get that at
It
all.
sounded like you were reading the joke you just wrote down or starting to write down, but you were just reading it out loud instead of like reciting how you might necessarily perform it.
And a
in
lot
your
of
mind.
it, that's what she's doing. She's writing it down and then she's reading.
She is, but I don't think when you read it, it's just reading. I think it is this. I think it's a stand-up delivery.
Right.
There's
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because I was gonna say, because the funny we got in the banter between the two of you was
But
some
not
of the
the
funny I was looking for
Mhm.
in the stand-up portion,
Right.
and so it almost didn't make sense.
and there's something about what's the first joke?
I've been single for so long, I've started having sexual fantasies about my vibrator.
There's a difference between I've been single for so long, I've been having sexual fantasies about my vibrator, which sounds red,
Yeah.
as opposed to I've been single for so long, I've been having fantasies about my vibrator, which sounds like a statement, which is more confusing for him.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It just sounds like
Who
you're
are you
just
talking to?
talking, yeah, you're just laying it out there. And so there's something about this commitment to the comic, to the delivery of the stand-up, that makes this even stranger for him. And I think you kind of have to go there, so that especially at the moments when you try that and then you go, how does that sound? And you break and you come back to where there's a tone change. So we get the idea that there are two different voices for this.
Okay.
And I think you've got to go there a little bit. And if you'd like to know more about that, we have a couple of people in here that
I know we do.
can be happy to talk to you about stand-up.
Yeah! Call them out!
What else, guys?
I have two questions, I guess.
Fire away.
For Connor, why do you get angry that she was talking like that?
Because because my character is worried about his mother, so that's to be the main thing he's focused on, and the stuff that she's talking about, it's just really blunt, and it's something like it doesn't expect him. He's like in shock that this woman is saying this stuff as a joke, whereas like where most people would take it seriously, it's like what the hell's wrong with this? What the hell's wrong with this woman? Like maybe something's like off. So tried to approach it like that.
Why do you ask the question?
Well, I mean, if it was for your mom, I would expect you to like look at your mom more when you
Okay.
like you're like worried about her hearing it kind of thing.
Okay.
Like stay on the newspaper.
And that's a little directorial, but let's explore this. No, you're fine. Let's explore this a little bit, though.
I like that idea though.
What are you afraid it's going to do to your mom?
What do you mean? Like,
Fuck, pussy, fuck, pussy, pussy, fuck! What are you afraid your mom's going to do when that comes up in the room?
probably freak out. Just be like,
When was the last time your mother responded to anything?
a good while. Like,
So, what would happen if she did?
that's a good question.
Yeah,
What the
because this is a mixed feeling about this. Your mother has not responded to anything for a very long time. And the last thing you want is for her to hear something like that and get offended. But if she got offended by it, it would be a chance for you to say goodbye. It would be a chance for her to interact with the outside world. It would be a chance for her to become conscious. It would bring her to consciousness just enough for you to have that final moment that you don't feel that you can have because she's just not responding to you at all. And so there's this interesting mix of emotions about this that's in there. And the inner monologue, I think, of the character is sort of rooted in that a little bit. You know, yes, you're defending your mother's delicate ears, just like mom's never fucked. We just came into the world by a stork. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, but then at the same time, you're so busy, you know, you're so ready to defend her, but then there's this notion that if you looked at her, yeah, if she did this, if she just went somehow in her sleep, you'd know she was hearing something. And she hasn't heard you in a very long time. And you've said things to her, hoping that she'd hear. You've sung to her, you've read to her. You got to the point where she gave you nothing, and now you don't even read to her anymore. You just come and read silently. I mean, that's the point you're at, is that you don't interact with your mother at all in any of these scenes, really. She does. You can tell she's earlier in the game than you are. Mm-hmm. But you've clearly been doing this for longer. And so this idea of defending a vegetable, there's mixed feelings about that. So I think that's the interesting emotional work to do with this character.
okay. Just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that.
Well, it's not a conscious thing.
Okay.
I think it's going to come from your impulse. And if your impulse is to protect your mother, and that leads you to, like, you know, if I were in the room and I said pussy wet at like Thanksgiving, my dad would get offended first, and then my mom would go, Keith. But I would try to figure out how they felt about it by looking over at them. And maybe that's your first. I mean, when was the last time you worried about your mother being offended by something? Probably years.
Yeah.
Right? So if that first instinct is to look over, and then you have the moment where you realize, no, not even this, then that's something else, you know? So you've got room to just follow the impulse and react, and then see nothing and react. And then still continue to try and defend her, because really the person that's offended is you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shona, nice job. And scene.
But Connor's, I think Connor's delivery of his lines
Bravo.
Oh yeah.
were clear.
Yeah. The lines are great.
Your delivery of the lines were clear and like,
Your
Also, like,
your
that
intent.
last part when I said you're a little bitch, like, did you want us to improvise there? Like,
Well, is that the last line?
yeah, that was the last line.
So, and then she puts in her headphones, and then we'll just assume she stops talking for a little bit. So whatever you did was fine. I know the
Okay.
scene doesn't end there; it continues.
Okay.
But you're ending it there. It's fine. Whatever you do is fine.
Okay.
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 I'm going to allow the action to continue for a beat or two. Can we go to per se? That section.
Wet dream,
Yes. So,
Girls don't have wet
can I hear that beat?
per se.
What do you think about that? What isn't that the line?
Yeah, she says,
I say.
I say. I know, I actually think wet dreams is a funnier option, but I'm concerned that it's not gonna get a laugh because girls don't have wet dreams. Per se.
So, what do you mean by that?
Well, what I meant by it was, well, we don't have wet dreams like guys, but we do get wet.
Yes. And who are you sharing that with?
My mother.
Right. Did your mama get wet?
Ew.
Has she ever in her past?
No.
Probably.
Stork.
Look at no, not for you. No, he's stork. Your penetration and
Passion, pain, and penetration.
I don't know
so
why Jill Scott just popped into my head.
and
I'm sorry. I was just,
no, it's okay. I've been watching this all day, and I do not know who Jill Scott is.
Oh no.
Are you serious?
It's okay. You'll find out and you'll be really happy when you do.
Who is Jill Scott?
An amazing
Oh,
she's
Fabulous
a
singer.
singer.
She's freaking awesome.
I love it.
She's
She
got
got
sex
so
with the
nice
mic.
and
Yeah.
sweet. It just like ruined my perception. My boyfriend was like, it didn't me.
Hey.
And she did it badly.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
I know.
That might got
When she was done,
that might
I
got
was
good
like,
time.
that shit down.
Well, I clearly have some homework to do.
The double hand twist, you know. What I'm
Right?
Exactly.
No, I died when she went.
Okay,
I was like,
girls.
oh, she did the leg reach around. What? No, I don't know anything about that. Allegedly.
It was closed captions.
Yeah.
Allegedly. What? There.
It's okay if you want.
Sorry.
Per se.
Right
So,
Lick, reach.
or reach
Around.
behind or
Jill
reach
Scott.
under. I don't know.
So anyway, so then the question is,
Yes.
you and your mother may or may not have had a relationship where you can talk about sex so frankly. Did you?
No. And I think that's why she's doing it now that she's like,
But your mother does respond to you in the course of this play.
right.
Your mother does have bouts of consciousness. So there's every chance she is hearing you. So then why are you talking to her about it? What is leading you to share this with her if she is just not as relaxed about it as you are? What are you getting out of it?
That's a good question. 'Cause, I mean, I always thought, my perception was that her whole life, her mom has never really, like, shown her that she thinks she's funny and she thinks she's,
I think that is a correct read of the script.
yeah.
So what is this about?
Her wanting her mom to think she's good at what she does.
So what are you doing?
I'm doing my bits for her.
Are you just doing your bits for her?
No, I mean, I'm performing for her.
And
I want her to.
how is your mother responding?
She's drooling.
How is your mother responding in your mind?
In my mind, she's laughing. She thinks it's funny.
You are reinventing your mother right now. You're reinventing your relationship you're with your mother, how your mother relates to your humor,
So funny.
all of this. So your mother, who is all, "Do not use that language, that is filthy," is now somebody you can lean into and say, well, I mean, we do have wet dreams. All right. And so you're transforming your mother in her occasional absence. And I think there is a certain amount of enjoyment to that. Believe me, the shit I would say if my dad were in a coma.
Okay.
I don't want him to be in a coma, but he'd be. Never mind. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's that thing. People that are so ready to be offended. People are so ready to take up arms, and suddenly they're unable to do so. Suddenly you can reinvent them as being people that are, well, more approachable, pleasant, and less prudish. Yeah? So I think there's a game in here. I think your mom becomes that in this script. And then what Francis just expressed is what happens when the reality of losing her sets in. And that's later in the script. so you don't have that in this scene. But this idea that you've done this to your mom, rather than accept her as she is, I mean, that sort of plays out later. But I think at this point, it serves that well. So when you say per se, right now, I'm not getting that you're sort of sharing that with her. Yuck, yuck, we women know. Can I see what that looks like?
I think the wet dreams is a funny option, you know, but I'm worried.
Why are you saying I know? Is that in the script?
Yes.
Why are you saying it?
Because in my mind, she's going, oh yeah, go for the wet dreams.
Respond to it that way.
I know, right? I think the wet dreams is a funnier option. But I'm worried I'm not going to get a laugh because, like, girls don't have wet dreams, per se.
Share it with her more. As though you have talked about that. On the per se.
On the per se.
I like this better. But she's really agreeing with you on the I know. Bring me a little more there.
I know, right? I think the wet dreams is a funny
Here's what I'm not
option,
seeing.
too.
I'm
What?
not seeing you see her go.
Oh. Can we back up?
Sure.
on mine? The now what do you think works better?
Uh-huh. Sounds great.
Now what do you think works better? Like the sex fantasies or the sex dreams? Or wet dreams? Right? I know, right? Like I think the wet dreams is a funnier option, right? But I'm worried that it's not going to get a laugh.
Here's what I'd like you to do.
Because I do a lot
What's
of
written down?
likes and there's
What's written down in your notebook?
Which note? Reinventing, perform to her.
No. No. What's the line? Where did you just start?
Oh. Now what do you think works better? Sexual fantasies?
So write down sexual fantasies. What's the joke you've got written in your comedy notebook right now?
I've been single for so long, I've started having sexual fantasies about my vibrator.
Is that in your notebook right now written down?
No.
Write it down in your comedy notebook. You're not keeping a comedy notebook for this scene?
Of course I am. I mean, that whole line's not written down.
Write it down.
Just says
You
sexual
keep that. No.
fantasies.
Write the whole line down. Write the whole line down. I've been so. Do you write it down, Lana? You keep a notebook?
For sketches and stuff in here on my computer,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Stand up. You got notes?
I don't do stand up.
You don't do stand up at all.
No.
Okay.
I don't have the guts for that.
Of course you do.
Hold on one sec, I think I might have it.
It will take you 45 seconds to write. Write it down.
No, but it's a lot. I'm so like my
Write it down.
My child is so like me.
Write it down.
I don't know. I don't want to. Okay. Then.
Tell her as you're writing it.
I've been single for so long. I started having sexual fantasies about my vibrator.
Look what you wrote.
Now, what do you think works better, sexual fantasies or sex dreams?
Get the idea to replace sexual fantasies with sex dreams as you say it. Try it again. What do you think works better?
Now, what do you think works better, sexual fantasies or sex dreams?
I didn't see you get the idea to replace it with sex dreams. Sex dreams is a whole different. Make the discovery there. Try it again.
I think it's water real quick, Keith.
Sorry. I've been single for so long. I've started having sexual fantasies about my vibrator. So what do you think works better, sexual fantasies or sex dreams? Or wet dreams?
There you go. And so you're going to scratch it out. There you go.
I like that.
And then how does your mom respond to wet dreams? What do you hear her?
I know, right?
No. What do you hear your mom do?
Going, wet dreams.
Try it again. Or wet dreams. Try that. Try that.
Or wet dreams. Right? Right?
Yeah.
I think wet dreams.
That's what your mom is doing. So you got to see that. You got to hear. Yeah, right. Right. So your mom is your subconscious. Your mom is doing this job for you. So use it that way. Make this about the moment of creation. You know, that's what you're doing right here.
Right.
You're trying things out. You're trying to not lie. You're brainstorming. You're sandboxing. You're doing all that kind of stuff. And that's what he's overhearing. So that when you get to keep going to per se.
I know, I actually think that wet dreams is a funnier option, right?
Back to your notebook.
I know, I think that wet dreams is actually the funnier option. But you know, I'm worried that it's not gonna get the laugh because, you know, girls don't have wet dreams. Per se, right?
There you go. Good. Yes, very
And
good.
you know, I have more that I have to put in here, you know, like I can elaborate a little bit more. You know, like I could, you know, improv and say something like, you know, instead of
Good. So put it up here.
chisel-
So I can improv, like bring it out to us.
Okay.
Your audience is here. Your mother is just sort of standing there watching you perform, giving you feedback. So put the audience out here, in a sense. So you can improv, like,
So like I could improv and be like, you know, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled up man throwing open my bedroom door and raping me, you know, I just have visions of my vibrator standing in the archway, backlit by silvery moonlight, wearing a fedora sometimes, and like fucking me until sunrise. What do you think about that? Like, I mean, that was just improv though.
hey, Conor, you're in the scene.
Oh.
Right now, I'm watching you and you're going, yeah, fedora. Fedora, all right.
Am I?
Vibrator
Oh,
fedora.
that's because my foot is up and my knees.
That's a good business idea.
Right?
Hello, sharks. I'd like to talk to you today about vibrator fedoras.
Because no one will make eye contact if you're wearing a fedora.
I never fucked somebody with a fedora on,
I mean,
so.
apparently you have that.
Good. Let's keep going. Do you know blah blah blah? No, I guess lens waiting for vibrator. First reaction. Where's your first reaction?
Where?
Pedro. I'm sorry, Conor.
Oh, my first reaction when I walk in.
Yeah. Let me see that. So you're gonna enter. Let's just take it from there. Waiting for vibrator is the line, right?
What? No, it's, I don't know. I kind of don't think there's anything funnier than rape.
Okay, in you come. Stand by. Action.
I don't know. Maybe the rape part was a bit much. I don't know though. I don't think there's anything funnier than rape. Okay, well, what if I said something like...
So, here's what we've got to do. What happens after that first reaction?
Well, one, he's shocked by what he just heard.
And then what happens?
I look at my mom, see if.
Are you sure you heard it right?
What do you mean?
Well, anything funnier than rakes?
Not really.
Maybe you misheard it. And for that, we got to give you time to process that. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Read your newspaper. I really don't think there's anything funnier than rape. Yes. So you don't have to go full on this. All it takes is... And there's a pause after that where she doesn't say anything else. And you got to give it a pause, Sheri.
Okay,
so
I
that
know
you can...
I know he's sitting in.
Yeah, so that you can go... Nah. And you can go back to what you're doing. So we can build this in stages, because otherwise that becomes repetitive. So we got to build it in intensity.
Okay,
So the first reaction is as simple as, nah. And then you go back to what you're doing. And then as it escalates, then you'll have a reason to worry about your mom. But if that's where it is right out of the gate, it doesn't give us anywhere to go.
Okay, I see where
You with me?
Alright.
So the first reaction can start that way. He will need a pause after that first, Sheri, before you continue.
Okay.
That's it. When you say that's it,
That's it.
what do you mean?
Like, I've heard enough.
Great. So what are you going to do about it?
Well,
What do you say right after?
I'm getting a nurse.
Great. So it requires, if you've reached your limit, this has to be physically different than everything you've done before. Can't just be the words. So you've got to move your body, you've got to turn your body, you've got to put your paper down. It has to look like you're ready to take action at that point. All right?
Okay.
And this time, that's it was like pretty much like all the other reactions.
Okay.
That's it. Has to feel like, oh, here it comes.
Okay.
So it's got to be something definitive that you do physically. It doesn't have to be large, but it has to be physically different than what's come before.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
Pancreas. I really should have worn my glasses. Do you say, there we go? Help me. Sheri.
What?
There we go.
Where are you at? Where?
Why do you say, there we go?
Oh.
Or is that Connor?
Here we go.
I
Here
say
we go.
Yup, here we
Because
go.
I say I'm.
Why do you say here we go, Connor? Thank you for parsing out my bad handwriting.
Because she's about to go on this rant,
What kind of rant?
or it's like some.
What's the line just before it, Sheri?
You can tell from the sound of my voice that I am a young woman.
Like a feminist rant.
Exactly, good. And that was not specific for me.
Okay.
What is your experience with feminist rants?
A lot, because I have a ex-wife.
So, what was that marriage like?
That sounds amazing.
She wanted me for my money,
Just that?
or it's like,
What was she like?
she's very like independent. Like she could pretty much take care of herself.
Didn't
Kind
need
of
you.
intimidating.
Ah.
She didn't need me.
So we've got all of these things. So this is going to require that you build in detail the way that your marriage fell apart in your mind because of women's independence and women's rights and her desire not to have you tell her what to do, blah, 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 blah. Or even her belief that she could run your company. All right, so here we go has a history, and it needs that.
Okay.
It has to sort of reflect back. All right?
You can practice that or during the scene.
When we do the scene again, we're going to do it again.
Okay.
And emasculated means?
Emasculated. Like removes his balls.
Yep, very good.
That's the best way I know how to put it.
And you're a little bitch. So let's do the last 2 or 3 lines prior to you're a little bitch.
Okay.
So it builds up. Let's take it from emasculated. Let's take it from that line.
That signifies that you're in a power position over me. And imagine the fact that translates into your emasculated fantasy brain to carte blanche talk to me any way you fucking feel like, I guess. Because
God,
look,
what happened to you in your miserable
terrifyingly
childhood to become this
immature
person?
subconscious tells you that that is the one way that you can feel powerful. When you are in the midst of the most castrating powerlessness of your life, when your mother is over there dying of cancer and you are completely powerless over that.
You're a little bitch, you know that?
So why do you say that? Where's that come from?
Because he knows that she's right, he just doesn't want to admit it.
So she's right? Yeah?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Like an asshole. or like an idiot.
Right now, with the line delivered that way, her accusation gives you energy. What if it takes it all away? What if what she says is so true? Because there is a lull in this fight after this line, right? You don't continue fighting, there's a break. And it means she got to you. So what if you try it a different way? What if you don't fire it off at her like a salvo, but instead she breaks you?
Oh, so it's kind of like
I don't know. Let's try it again. Let's see where it goes.
All right.
Try it again. Action.
This signifies that you are in a position of power over me. That signifies you are in a position of power over me. Imagine fact that translates into your fantasy brain. Fuck my life. That translates into your emasculated fantasy brain to carte blanche. Fucking talk to me any way you feel
Dear
like, I
God,
guess.
what
because
happened
no-
in your miserable
because your
childhood to make you
immature
become
subconscious
this
tells you that
person?
that is one way you can feel powerful, when you are in the most castrating powerlessness of your life, where your mother is over there dying of cancer and you are completely powerless over that.
You're a little bitch, you know that?
I kind of like, there's something about that I like better. Something about that I like that feels like it is more vulnerable, that you've been exposed in a way that you did not anticipate. Because you didn't think she had any worth, because she's telling these jokes that you think are crass and crude.
Kind of catch them off guard.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's still some other options for it, but I would play with that in rehearsal a little more. What were you
Okay.
going to say, Grace?
It's almost like like you say sometimes, you know the line's coming, so you're just gonna say your line instead of actually listening to it and reacting
Yeah.
to what she says and taking it in.
And I love the look. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
And I love the look to your mom.
Right.
And then you come back to the paper. Let's try it from the top.
All right.
I'm sorry, other notes. I jumped in the pause because I thought we had reached sort of the nadir of that. Let's try it.
Do you, well, I guess
Go-
one last
go ahead,
question. How do you feel about your
Smells like
material?
cheese. How do you feel about what?
Your material.
I didn't think about that. But I like it. I think it's good. And I want my mom to think it's good, because I think I'm really good at it, but she never has.
Mm.
And when are you doing it?
When am I doing what? Every Saturday night at the Funny Bone.
What night is tonight?
Today is Friday.
So tomorrow night you're going to do this routine,
Yeah.
right? Any of these jokes in last week's routine, they didn't work? I don't know. Just a question. Here we go, from the top. Roshana, turn around, put your head at this end, if you would, please.
Turn and put your head at this end.
Put your head at this end.
So much. She's such a better dead person or not.
So sorry to ask you to move.
Feel comfortable.
surprised.
She changed her PJs.
Scene doesn't hold.
How did you DVD?
What if they really do?
Right, you're like,
I don't see why not.
What?
Do either one of them get up and keep around that?
Ask the question after this run.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fair question.
I'm good. I'm just staying like ready to go.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Stand by. Do you want Darius on the?
Why'd you say my name right? That's so
No, I'll just hold. I'll wing it. I got notes everywhere, so I can line myself.
No, I just never noticed that you say it right, and it sounds so nice when people say it right. So
You're welcome.
For his
thank
name.
you.
Keith said Darius, and he was like, what?
Wait, how did
You
people
said
say
Darius. Some
Okay.
people say Darius,
Oh.
so that when I hear my name said correctly, sometimes I notice it. I'm like, oh, Keith says my name.
Oh. Hello, Darius.
Yeah, instead of you say Darius, which is right, so it's so
Darius.
nice, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay. Delirious. I'd really delirious.
Hilarious.
Delirious. Okay, here we go.
This is
I'm glad you noticed. All right, stand by. Do you have your script in your hand?
I do.
Hand it to somebody else.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna hand it to him. Yeah.
She knows. I know she knows this.
Yeah, she does. You know the lines already.
Yeah.
Fine, sweetheart.
Here we go.
You wanna play her mom?
Sylvia. Here we go. Stand by. Action.
I've been single for so long, I'm starting to have sexual fantasies about my vibrator. I mean, what do you think works best, sexual fantasies or sex dreams?
Good, cut. So I'd like you to do it without the sigh at the top.
Was there a sigh?
I've been single for so long. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Put your notebook down. What, do you know your 3 jokes? I've been single for so long. I've been having fantasies about...
It's like multiple rape jokes. So
What are the jokes? Tell
I've
me.
been single for so long, I've started to have sexual fantasies about my vibrator.
What's the next one? Tell me about the fedora.
The fedora. I mean, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled-up man throwing open my bedroom door and raping me, I have fantasies of my vibrator standing in the archway, backlit by silvery moonlight, sometimes wearing a fedora, sometimes not, and fucking me until sunrise.
Great. So stand up.
What?
Stand up.
Oh, you want me to stand up?
Not just stand up.
I won't quit forever because I'm weak. That is so you.
Yes, girl.
Nice.
2 hands. Or whatever you want to do.
Nice, nice.
Thank you. If I could remember her name, I would have referenced the... There you go. Is that what it is, really?
Close.
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 Okay.
Close, but nowhere near.
No. You
I thought
can do
you
whatever you want. I was making a joke about the...
No, like Jill Scott.
Jill Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
So stand up. We're the audience. You're at a club.
Those are my jokes?
Yep.
Jesus. Okay. I've been single for so long, I'm starting to have sexual fantasies about my vibrator. You know, it's not like, fuck.
Instead of a strong chisel.
What?
Instead of a strong chisel, oiled up man.
Instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled up man throwing open my bedroom door, I just have fantasies of my vibrator standing in the archway, backlit by silvery moonlight, sometimes wearing a fedora, sometimes not. And then just fucking me until sunrise. There I am. I'm in bed, dripping wet, just waiting for my vibrator to come fuck me. I mean, nothing's funnier than rape, right? So, it always, my vibrator always respects my safe word. And if it rapes me, I don't got to go to the police station, I just go to bed, right?
There you go. So there it is. So now.
There's a comedian in here somewhere.
There you go. My advice, may I borrow the microphone?
I like it.
I know you do, but
Taking it home.
I know.
Hey.
But in the middle of a discussion about that, I would suggest that this might not
Thank
exactly,
God I changed my clothes
it's just-
before I came because I did have a low-cut shirt on.
There you go.
What?
That's
Although, anyway, here,
King turned into a different
Are we ready?
class.
It did indeed.
Right? I mean, I didn't do a stand-up thing, but I have a whole story about some cocoa butter and Vaseline the other night. It doesn't end the way you think it did.
I would hope latex was not involved in
All I know
either
is
of
my
those.
boyfriend goes, "Why are you so sticky?" I was like, "Hey, you're black. You should know. Vaseline, cocoa butter. That's what we do." He goes, "We don't put on that much."
It doesn't get sticky.
She put
It
on
does
that
when you
much.
blend it. That was glossy,
But it's not sticky.
right? No, then I put on my house coat, which was satin, and went.
Oh, well, that's different.
It's like wearing a condom. I had to take it off. I'm like, cotton, honey, cotton. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there's no comedian in her. Here we go, stand by. Action.
I've been single for so long, I've started to have sexual fantasies about my vibrator. Now, what do you think works better, sexual fantasies or sex dreams? Or wet dreams? I know, right? Like, wet dreams is the funnier option. I agree, but you know, I'm worried about that I won't get the laugh because girls don't have wet dreams, per se. You know, I have some more stuff that I could just throw in there. You know, I could elaborate. I could say, you know, like improv, or say something like, you know, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled up man
Good,
throwing
okay.
me open my bedroom door.
Good, cut. No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. I like this. So, do you know what I mean when I say play the discovery? It's like what you do
Yes,
there.
but I felt rushed and I didn't.
Don't rush.
Yeah.
Stop rushing. Playing that discovery on when you discover the wet dream thing is great. Play it again on. I have some other material I can roll in there.
Okay. And I felt like when she says that, it's almost like she felt like her mom wanted, like her mom was like, well, that's good, but you know, that's it.
Then respond
And
to
that's
that.
why
I'm
I
still
was
not
like,
seeing
well,
that.
no, I have some more. You know, that was just,
I love that choice
you know.
too. Do that. Do that. Do that. Let's try it again. I like where this is going.
Okay.
I like
Sorry,
the
Connor.
You're good.
Okay, from the top. Action.
I've been single for so long, I've started to have sexual fantasies about my vibrator. What do you think works best? Like sexual fantasies or sex dreams? Or wet dreams? I know, right? Wet dreams is a funnier option. Like, but I'm worried that it's not going to get the laugh because girls don't have wet dreams. Per se, right? Yeah, fuck it, right? It's wet dreams. You're in. I mean, I have some more stuff. You know, I could elaborate on it, and you know, I could improv and say something like, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled-up man throwing my bedroom door open and raping me, I just have visions of my vibrator standing in the archway, backlit by silvery moonlight. You know, sometimes wearing a fedora, sometimes not. Fucking me until sunrise. What do you think about that? I don't know, was the rape too much?
Okay, good. So I'm going to cut you one more time. Sorry, Connor, before you come in. I'm going to do this one more time. So your eye lines are confusing the dickens out of me.
I'm sorry.
No. It's just about being specific.
Okay.
It's sort of like, I'm down here, I'm down here, I'm here. I just,
So I got here, and here.
out here. So,
For the audience.
yeah. So let me see those
That
last,
picture.
like those last, tell me about the vibrator. I want you to visualize him out here, glowing, backlit. Is he like one of those little bullets, or does he look like a penis? All right, there you go. There you go. Silicone, what are we talking? Painted by those Chinese ladies that like spend all their lives doomed to paint dildos?
What?
Have you not seen
Yeah.
pictures of the dildo factories?
Yeah.
Saddest thing, dip in the purple, paint on the veins, pass them off to the
I
glosser.
prefer realistic
Okay.
looking penises.
You haven't seen the
vibrators.
purple one?
Dildos. Oh, I've seen them.
No,
Thanks,
just
but I
like a
prefer,
little
you know,
tongue,
natural colors.
Be careful, those burn.
Tan,
So,
black.
try it again.
whatever.
Up here. I can improv.
I mean, I can improv. Like, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled-up man throwing my bedroom door open and raping me, I just see visions of my vibrator in the archway, you know, backlit by silvery moonlight, sometimes wearing a fedora.
So, good. I love that. Can we go a different direction with it?
Yes.
He's at the door. See him. Chiseled plastic penis.
Chiseled
Sell it.
penis.
Sell it.
You know, I could improv, and I could say something like, instead of a strong, chiseled, oiled up man throwing my door open and raping me, all I see is my vibrator standing in the archway, backlit by silvery moonlight, sometimes wearing a fedora, sometimes not. You know, fucking me until the sunrise. Is the rape too much?
That is some funny shit. Because there's a clear line now between, I mean, stand up now. Does that work?
Is rape too
And the break makes the difference.
Okay.
It's that tone change, and it's accentuated by the eye line. Let's just take it from there. Is the rape too much? And we'll continue.
Is rape too much? You know what? I don't think there's anything funnier than rape. You know, I could say something like,
Okay, pause. Let's try it again. So it can't just be your eyes. Your head has to come up for a moment. Think about it. And then go back to your paper.
Okay.
Try it one more time, just from the line.
I don't think there's anything funnier than rape, though. You know what? I could say, there I am in bed, dripping wet, waiting for my vibrator to fuck me. I don't know, though. Does that, like, take the teeth out of it? Am I being a pussy? You know, I never know if I'm just being this big, wide, gaping pussy. You know, I could just throw the rape element into it, and, you know, but like in a different way. You know, I love getting fucked by my vibrator because I know it'll never rape me. Or something like that.
Good. Conor, how do we escalate? First one is look up, look down. The second one is look up and turn to her. The third one is, at some point, are you really going to go back to the paper, or are you going to sit here and start mentally keeping a list of how many times she says fuck? So the only works the first couple of times.
That's what I thought.
Maybe even only the first. And then the rest you can go back to what you were doing and let it build that way.
I had trouble with that. Okay.
Okay? Yeah, so I saw you trying to sort of repeat what we were doing. Don't worry about it. A lot of the things you were doing in the beginning were fine.
Okay.
It's just that first one that we really needed to tweak.
Okay.
Let it escalate. And the only other one that needs to change is when we get to that final, that's it. Let me see something definitive physically.
All right.
So let's back it up 2 lines, please, to where we stopped.
Was that,
Um,
does it take the teeth out pussy,
yeah.
or was that
There you go.
throw the rape element?
Okay.
I don't know, but does that take the teeth out of it, though? Am I being a pussy? I never know if I'm being like this big, wide, gaping pussy. You know, I could say, I love getting fucked by my vibrator because I know it'll never rape me. You know, or something like that. No, I know. I could say, I only play out my rape fantasies when I'm really angry at myself. I love being raped by my vibrator because
Oh.
I love being raped by my vibrator. I love being raped by my vibrator because
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
yes,
Could you keep it down over there?
I didn't know anyone else was in here.
So let's back up and look at that. We need a very clear, very specific reaction from you. So, what are the 2 lines that happen before he says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry?
It's fun to get raped by my vibrator.
I only play out my rape fantasies with my vibrator because I know it will respect my safe words. And it's I'm sorry, it's still maybe too vague. It's so fun to get raped by your vibrator because
It's so fun to get raped by.
So that's gotta be, and it's gotta be, you're now excited to be writing about, I mean, you know, you're on a roll now, right?
Okay.
It's all, you're inspired. So that then that energy comes to a screeching halt. It's a cherry bagel.
It's a what?
It's a cherry bagel. It's a bagel. It's a bagel from the restaurant scene in Cherry. Screech!
Oh,
okay.
God.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we all share that reference.
Yeah.
So, take it from there, wherever Darius just said. What's the line?
It's
It's
still too
maybe
vague.
too vague.
So should we go one about? Okay, here's a compromise.
There we go. It still may be too big. Yeah, all right.
Here's a compromise. I only play out my rape fantasies because I know it'll always respect my safe word. I mean, that's still too vague. I only, fuck, what is it?
It's so fun to get raped by
It's so
your
fun to
vibrator.
get raped by my vibrator because,
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
yes.
Could you keep it down over there?
So, let's
I
clean it
didn't
up.
know.
Let's clean it
I
up.
didn't
So,
know.
let's clean up that line. So, that's still too vague.
It's still too vague.
You're on a roll. Bring some energy to it.
It's still too vague. Like, it's so fun to get raped by your vibrator because
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
So, we've got two I'm sorries. You have an opportunity to go through what Conor went through with his first reaction. So, the first, let's just try freezing.
Okay.
And then maybe you just heard something that wasn't there or misunderstood. And then you get the second I'm sorry. So we need a little pause between.
Okay.
Little.
Okay.
Try it again.
Oh, it's still too vague. You know, it's so fun to get raped by your vibrator because it's
I'm
just
sorry? I'm sorry?
Still moving a lot.
Still moving a lot. So when he says,
So, first of all, you're whispering. The whispering comes later, right?
yeah,
You're alone? Stand up? What's the, no. It's like stand up. What's the line?
oh,
That's too vague.
it's too vague.
You're whispering.
It's so fun to get raped by.
You're really whispering now.
Whispering?
Stop whispering.
Am I whispering?
Yes, you
I thought
are.
you were saying no. It's too vague. Like, it's so fun to get raped by your vibrator because
I'm sorry?
When that happens,
I'm sorry?
try just freezing.
oh, just freezing. Okay,
Try it again.
it's still too vague.
Watch me, Conor, for the second. I'll cue you for the second.
It's so fun to get raped by your vibrator because
I'm
it's
sorry? I'm sorry?
So what happens is, and then maybe you're ready to go on, and that's when, so we got to sort of time this. Let's just play with it a little bit. It's about timing. I would suggest that you rehearse this a little bit, taking the divider away, so you can sort of watch what the other person's doing, so you can time it out.
Oh, okay.
But try one more time, and then we'll go to the end.
it's still too vague. It's so fun to be raped by your vibrator because
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
yes.
Could you keep it down over
Oh,
there?
I didn't
Could
know.
you?
I didn't know there was anyone else in here. I'll be more quiet. Sorry. It's so fun to get raped by your vibrator. 'Cause
Good. So, Conor? This is how you start. The more she upsets you, how does this physicality change? When you get more tense and agitated, how do you hold it in? I like that. Good. And then she keeps going. Then what happens? You're more agitated. That can happen, but how do you change your posture? Mm-hmm. Yes. And then she keeps going, and you're even more so. Right? So don't overact it, but yeah, so it just changes your posture. So that then when she says, okay, I'll be quiet, then you can go back. You've resolved it, right? So what happens then? There you go. Exactly.
Okay.
So you can relax physically back into it. So then she says, pussy, 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 pussy. So then the tension all comes back. So that's part of the funny of the posture is the posture is mirroring your internal tension, and as it makes you tenser, you tighten up. And then when she says, I'll take care of it, okay, good. I did my man's job. I confronted. That wasn't it.
And then once she says it again, I just.
And then the tension comes back.
Okay.
So that's telling the physical story.
Okay.
So just take it from where we left off.
Do you want to start at the?
I'm sorry. Take it from I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Could you keep it down over
I
there?
didn't know
Could you?
anyone was in here. I'll be more quiet. Sorry. It's so fun to get raped by your vibrator because you don't have to feel the police after. You just. It's so fun to get raped by your vibrator.
I'm sorry?
I'm being quiet.
That's not the point.
Okay, would you like to illuminate for me what you believe the point to be?
The point is that you're not the only person in this
I
room.
told you, I didn't know anyone else was in here.
You didn't realize someone else was
No,
in here?
I told you. I thought it was just me and my mom. Like
You didn't
I-
realize there was a 65-year-old woman fighting with every five of her being in combat of her patient's case of ovarian cancer in here?
Why are you
You didn't
talking to
realize
me
that?
like I'm
Why am I
this-
talking to you like some kind of...
Why are you talking to me like I'm this fucking idiot?
Why are you acting like some kind of...
Look, you told me to be quiet. I'm being quiet. That's what I'm fucking
Hey,
doing.
language.
What?
Language.
Language?
We're in a
Are you
hospital.
my fucking preschool teacher now?
There are ladies present.
I'm a fucking lady.
Oh, ha. Ha.
No, you don't know. You don't even know what I look like because you're not man enough to move this curtain out of the way and come over here and belittle me to my face.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
What? What are you going to do?
I'm getting a nurse.
You're getting a nurse?
I'm going
Oh
to...
my God.
You know,
I'm telling my
hospital,
mom.
going
I'm
to
telling
administrator.
my-
I'm sorry?
No.
I'm sorry?
I don't think you're sorry. I think you, my friend, are the opposite of sorry.
It's an expression. Jesus.
It's an expression that pansies use. Because when you say, I'm sorry, no, what you're really saying is that you think I should be sorry. When you say, I'm sorry. No, it's a passive-aggressive way to control me.
Oh, I
and
know
tell me
exactly
what
where
to
this
say.
is going.
No, you know what? So in your terribly insecure imagination that signifies
Yep.
that you are in a position
Here we
of
go.
power over me. No, an imagined fact that in your...
Are you
your,
always like this? Do you
You're-
have friends?
in your fantasy brain to carte blanche permission to fucking talk to me any way you feel
Dear
like. I guess
God, what happened to you in your miserable
Because
childhood to make
in
you
your
become this
terrifyingly immature
person?
subconscious, it is the one way that you can feel powerful in the midst of the most castrating powerlessness of your life. When you know what, your mother is over there dying of cancer, and you are completely powerless over that.
You're a little bitch, you know that?
Can we take those last two lines again and you say it sort of under your breath? Hear what that sounds like? Emasculated, powerless.
Because your terrifyingly immature subconscious tells you that that is the one way that you can feel powerful. And when you are in the most castrating powerlessness of your life, when you know your mother is over there dying of cancer and you are completely powerless over that.
You're a little bitch, you know that?
Good. Let's try it one more time. You're not even saying it to her. You're saying it as you pick up your paper to keep reading. Can I see what that looks like?
Because your terrifyingly immature subconscious tells you that that is the one way you can feel powerful when you are in the midst of the most castrating powerlessness of your life, where your mother is over there dying of cancer and you are completely powerless over that.
You're a little bitch, you know that?
Good. So you've got a couple of options there.
Yeah.
I think I would select the option based on which one makes her back off. And I don't think it's going to be the one that sustains the fight. I think it's going to be the one that makes her realize she's wounded you.
that I went just a little
Yeah,
too
she went
far.
too far.
Okay.
All right, so keep playing with that in rehearsal. I think you guys are in a nice place.
Okay.
Other notes? What do you like? What do you like most about this scene?
That's it.
Hmm?
That's it.
Yeah.
I love the scene when you guys go, like the part where you guys go back and forth, you can really tell. That's when you guys really, really shine. I feel like
Yeah, I love
the
that too.
most. And so figuring out how to do that when it's your individual lines, because especially once he comes in the room, it's still an interchange between the two of you, even when there's no dialogue. So finding that spark when you guys watch it back, kind of finding those sparks, even when you don't have to say something to respond to the other person.
I wanted to know, I know that you don't see each other in the scene, but do either one of you want to get up and really peep around? Do you have that feeling to do that?
The last time we did it, when I heard him get up, I kind of wanted to like
Mhm.
look, because I heard him move.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't.
Play with the impulse. Wanting to and letting yourself are two different things.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop you from wanting to, though. It might be nice to see that impulse.
Okay.
Good question. All right, good man. Yeah, good. Nice one. What do you guys need?
We need to move all this.
Very nice.
So let's help them, shall we?
Don't forget to like Kenny.
We're both
Baby bowls. Is that what he said?
I will put this in the corner. And then Sheri and Conor will show us how to break down the cots.
Oh crap.
Oh. Here, grab this one.
Now I'm already singing.
This is going away, so this can go away. I no longer want to own it.
Come out.
Yep.
Inside.
That was the
We're
worst
gonna flip it over.
Because I don't need you dead. So you don't need no practice doing
Hold
that.
together. There we go. And then this folds this way down. Up.
Whoa. That's super
Nope,
cool.
that goes backwards.
Oh, okay.
It all
Because
folds.
when you called me the other night and I had remembered that I was on my audition.
You're good, you're good.
It all.
Got my thumbs up.
Oh, did it?
But I was always
I think
Take care.
sides come up.
okay.
Like this.
Oh, there we go. How did he get his done?
Here for now. So I guess you guys could, because you're second show.
No, I was listening. I can
Welcome back.
verbatim something.
Here, you
Somebody said.
Those are my sons. He'll yell at me if I don't come home.
It was very cold in here. I don't even know why I took my coat off. Conor, what's up with them cookies, man? What's up with them cookies, bro?
Do you want one?
I remember I
more than
wanted
one.
it there because you
There's
sent it to
two.
me
I've
on
been running out of
Snapchat and I
fumes.
loved
I
it.
don't wanna
Like
running
I
out of
told
fumes.
Emma, I said, Emma, why your skin
Oh,
so lit? Like I was
No, share
distracted.
it with your
Oh, it was glowing.
Skin
Hold on.
was glowing.
Don't want to get away in the shot.
I was like, let me just
Who's
try again.
It was a
I
beautiful
couldn't-
sunny day.
Those,
He was
that's,
just-
I love
I
it.
think, did you bring that blanket, Connor?
No, but and then when Connor came out,
Connor, did you bring the blanket?
This blanket.
Is that
That's
yours?
not mine, no.
because y'all were performing Friday, right? I was trying to see if I could come. Where is it?
Push Comedy Theater.
That went better than I thought.
Is it 10 o'clock tonight?
I told her to go.
Oh,
Y'all
God, I love to
competing
work
like,
early.
No, it's not a competition. It's,
sitting in the parking lot
it's
since
like
4
a new
o'clock.
blood show. So like
Really?
new
Yeah.
sketch groups are performing.
Nice. I'm
And you all
Told
perform
you.
as
I
a
think
group
we're
of,
till
of
6.
sketch comedy you put
I
together.
didn't know my lines.
But you
Somebody
never
will
get up and
ask.
do it by yourself.
No, there's people in the group that do stand-up comedy, but
I've always wanted to,
actress,
but
model. I don't do stand-up comedy. I can write sketch. I wrote sketch. Our one that we put online is the one I wrote. I wrote that one.
Oh, you wrote that?
That was the one you.
Wait a minute, what do you mean,
Yeah.
where'd you put it
That's
out
on
online?
Facebook.
On
We'll
Facebook.
hope to know
Okay.
your car real quick.
We'll look
It
at
was
that.
funny. It was a MAGA one, so it was
yeah.
really good.
Keith said
Girl,
I
I
don't
waited
wanna
to slam my
take it
whole
too
life,
much.
honey, up under that magma hat.
I cannot take the film.
I said magma.
Francis, do you guys want to use these for yours or no? Or you just need one bed?
Go ahead and take them, I only got one,
One.
they need them up. And, Chris doesn't, so, and he just, it was good that way, so don't worry about it.
Okay, then yeah, we'll take them to the car.
Yeah, probably for one scene, one man.
Yeah.
So.
When I'm already done, when I'm already done. Do the other one.
Cool.
I'm on top, so it's gonna work out well. Let me try it one more time with your, it wasn't your card, it was the machine.
Oh, I never got my card back. You had it, right?
Since she has most of the lines I
You
know.
were talking to me, right?
I'm
I
barely
know
awake right now.
what facial expressions I should do because I don't want to be there either. I give you like
I'm making it over like 50 times.
Probably
go through it, huh?
really for the first like 2 minutes. I'm just like sitting there and just like hearing this. I'm just like
That will work for it too.
I like your scene.
Male, female.
so was your guys' scene like when I first saw it.
Basically. And that's not.
Just see you walk in that
Right.
just like whoa.
She said, wiggle your big toe. I don't use red. We split it up. So,
3 and 3. Because you read down first. We gotta do this.
My grandmother
It's brilliant.
I don't know. As a child, but this is what stuck out to me. My
Damn,
grandmother
damn, there's one time lights on this.
Mickey Mouse rotary phone.
Oh, I was just gonna say
she has
It's a
phone.
perfect.
I don't have that actually.
So it's like, I was like, oh my god,
It's
this is
in
gonna be
her.
great.
It's in her side that plays a good thing. For Christmas this year, she was like, no, I'm buying her.
I like all of them.
For like the ones that
Because
all Mickey.
they're serious, but at the same time they're funny.
My mommy wouldn't let me buy
It
it.
tackles like real issues, but
She has that. She has the name of Crock It gets hard though after a while.
Yeah,
You have
because
to
you
start
get
finding stuff.
creative.
You have to really get creative because she has so much.
How'd your
Work on that.
how'd your
It really gets difficult. And she loves the golden, so I bought her
I think
last year. No, I think last year.
really?
Mother's Day, I think I got a crock pot because last year I think I bought her.
Yeah.
You know the pop stones? They had them for Golden Girls, like little pops things. They're not bobbleheads, but they kind of like bobbleheads. So I bought her all the Golden Girls. She has them on like her TV stand. It's really cool.
Okay, are we ready?
Ember's in the bathroom.
Woo! This big open space.
It is like now that we've moved all that stuff, it's like wow, that's a lot.
We got room in here. I won't worry about the Christmas party now.
Yeah, we had a lot of room last year.
Oh yeah, because you just put chairs in a circle I think last time.
Does anybody else need to pay?
Yeah, we did. We had chairs and little circles. I make a little circle here and a little circle there.
Because we had the green bars, and I had like the glasses with the rub wraps on them, and everyone wanted to steal them.
Yeah,
and
I
should've
know, 'cause
stolen
one
them.
of
We had a shit ton of people in here last year. We
It was
were
A lot of
packed
people.
in. Because some of my ODU students, I was great. My ODU students showed up. We easily had like 45 people in here at one point.
It was packed.
It was a fun time.
And then
I don't know what this is.
Because there were like the separate circles for like each class. I saw you guys like in one circle because you all knew each other, and then we like gravitated towards our circle that was our class.
But now we.
I'm gonna put my sweater back on.
And then Conor gave us a dance.
Oh yeah, I did.
He's got
That
part
is-
2 coming.
that is
Requested by
that
parents.
is
Excited
my
about
bed.
that.
And
First of all, Connor is not coming to play with nobody's life.
I danced to
So
New
come
Edition the last
snatched and
Christmas party.
prepared.
So
he danced.
I danced to New Edition the last Christmas party.
As we always
But my drunk.
I
can't see him.
So yeah, because I do the dance right
Okay,
after.
so this is from
Yes.
I'll show you
Monkey.
the video after class.
All right, next scene is up.